Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Okay, so market opens in about a minute. Officially opens in about a minute. So we've had a big move up today. We had some core CPI news, which obviously sent that up high. So it's hard to know what's going on now. Whether there is maybe a larger channel. I've just put a line there for now, just to see if it does bounce here, but. We seem to have a big strong move up, which sort of kind of turned into a spike and channel, and we've had a break, 2 pushes to a new high, couple of legs back. There is a bit of support here as well, so it looks like this may come down below this, but whether it turns here or not, it's hard to say. So market is about to open any second. Daryl, good morning to you. Speedy, how you doing, buddy? Exponential, good morning. Okay, market is open. So let's see what happens here. 1, 2, 3. Would you call that a triple test? Who knows? Now that's interesting. That is something that I may have had a go at. Interesting that it pushed off here, but obviously market's open, so it can be a little bit. What's the word? A little bit too excited, so you never know. But let's see what happens. It's a bit early here, see, so we got a touch. In fact, I can come out just a wee fraction to there. It's hard to say what's gonna push here, and it is a little bit sideways. But we've had a move off there. Now it's gone a bit sideways, so there is a possibility of a channel down. Is it worth putting that? Maybe. So I can't trade for the first couple of minutes. Just stops me from getting a little bit too impulsive and jumping in when the market opens. My experience, it's best to avoid it. Trouble is, sometimes when emotions, you know what it's like when the market opens. You're kind of looking and you're raring to go, and then sometimes you can make a bit of a mistake. Now, I have, for the first time, put the medium impact news on, because lately, over the last couple of months, it's got a little bit more erratic, for want of a better word. We had, I think it wasn't it something like a 22-point bar last time we had some medium impact news, so I think it's worth paying attention to. So there's 2 legs back there, break out of this, higher low. The only issue I have with this at the moment is there could be a downtrend, but we're not getting to the bottom of the trend channel if it is, which may mean we get a break. So let me just open my charts.
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent.
Order cancelled.
So my trades are all up and running. So there is 2 legs back and a higher low there. But we have this, see, so it's hard to say exactly what's going on. I don't know whether this thing is going to continue up or what. I don't know how many times I can move this without becoming a bit over risky. It still fits. But I really can't trade that as a channel moving up at the moment until I get some more indications that this thing is going higher, because channel break, new low, I don't know. So 2 legs back, the second entry long worked, the higher low worked, but as I say, it's a bit too early to make crucial decisions. So if anybody is interested, Daniel put a post on. I was aware that he was looking into it. Daniel put a post on the Facebook group yesterday. He's starting a Discord. He did say he'd obviously be talking in it and posting his chart. He said every hour. Hopefully he'll post it a little bit more regular. I wonder if there is a way of getting something to just take a screenshot of your chart and kind of post it automatically every sort of 5 minutes or whatever. But I've just been looking at some of his trades later, and he definitely stands out as a good trader to me. Now, I know he's helped me in the past quite a few times, and I have a little natter to him for once in a while. So if anybody is interested, he's charging $25 a month. He did get a little bit of a rap last night for it on the Facebook group, which I thought was a bit harsh. But $25 is nothing really, is it? It's less than $1 a day. And I think to have someone who's a skilled trader, clearly does well at it, that you can maybe pick the brains, I think it's worthwhile. So I'll be having his Discord. I think I can open up 2 at the time. I don't know, but I'll be having it as well as Thomas Wade's. So I believe he's looking at somewhere February, mid-February, a couple of weeks. I think he's going to sort it out. Do I put that on there? I don't think I do at the moment, so I'm just going to keep it like this. So there is a possibility we come down and retest this area, or maybe clean these out. It could be a channel with a break, and it could come down. There is a little second entry long there once it broke above there. And I'm just sitting tight here at the moment. It could do anything really. It does look that it may come down, but it may not. At the moment, it is holding. Now, I trust Marco's charts at the moment. He's got that, which looks like it may come down for a retest. So it does look like it. Unfortunately, there's nothing really to take there, and that's sometimes the case. There's nothing and the thing just comes down. So, and once it starts to come down, it does often come back and give us a lower high, pretty much see what's going on. There's going to be stops down here, you can bet. A couple of legs back, and unfortunately it does that so many times. Once it starts to go, it just clears this up and it doesn't give us an option. So it's still hard to trade at the moment. Is this going to come down now, or is it going to push up now it's cleared this up? I got no idea. But we've had a break. I expect 2 pushes down to a new low. Yeah, what I say to you is who is this guy in the Facebook group, mate? Facebook group logged on a bit late. You on about the guy who was moaning, or the guy that's starting the Discord? The guy that's starting the Discord is actually one of the moderators on there. Max actually posted some of his trades a few years ago. He's just pretty good at it. Well, I'd say he's very good at it, and he's someone that's helped me. Smells like rain again. Yesterday was it? Yeah. Yes, I'd say so. It looks like Daniel, his name is Daniel Kushin. He's a nice guy. If ever I've asked him a question, he's always answered it. He's always helped me out and given me tips and advice. So as far as I'm concerned, that guy there, Daniel, he is a moderator. I think he started this with Marco. But watch his charts and you'll see some interesting stuff. That was his chart yesterday. He took 3, and you can tell he took 3 because you can see his entry and exits where he took his runners. But look how he traded them. Channel down, push up, big bearish bar, trapping long straight down. But that's what I mean with 3 points. If you can get into good trades, if you know what you're doing and get good entries like that, look how much that went down, and look how much. Those 3 trades are kind of almost identical. You see what I mean? But we had a bit of a sort of a bullish bar there, which pushed that big bearish bar. But these trades almost look identical. But he took 3. God, I'm lucky to get 3 in a week. So watch these guys' charts. He knows what he's doing. But yeah, he's starting a Discord. So if you're not in a Discord now, I'd say it's well worth the $25. Yeah, he does trade a lot of contracts, doesn't he? He's trying to take your YouTube up. Well, mate, to be fair, some of you guys, you watch my stream and do this. I'm not here as a YouTuber, so it doesn't bother me. If I think there's someone worth watching out there, I'll tell you. I don't do this for YouTube. You've got to have hundreds of thousands of followers and that to make anything from YouTube. But for me, it's about mixing with other traders, learning. Yeah, I know you are, mate. I know you are. But no, I mean, you know Daniel Brunt. I know you know him. I reckon it's a different audience. He said he will only post charts every hour. Yeah, he did, which is kind of in a way not as helpful. But I think he'd probably post them a little bit more often. I'd say he's definitely worth watching. He's a decent bloke and he knows what he's doing. So is this thing going up? Nick, how you doing, buddy? Lance, you told me in private your dream is to become a YouTuber with 30 Lambos. No, that's not true, mate. Just 2 Lambos, I think I said, didn't I? No, I mean, you've got to have... Do you know, I'll be honest with you, I make around about £60 every 3 months from YouTube. It's neither here nor there, it really isn't. So, no, I'm not a YouTuber. You won't see me making videos. I just don't bother because they're a pain in the arse and it's just not worth it. But I'm here, just like you guys. One, if someone's watching you trade or work, you tend to do a better job. So that gives me that little bit of extra pressure. Well, that's how I originally... why I originally started, that little bit of accountability. I you know what my patience is like now. It's much better. So, like you said, whenever someone asks, he will post. Yeah. The thing is, I think he's quite new to it. He did say he was going to set it up, but it's like anything. Once you've done it a while, it becomes quick. I couldn't figure out how the hell to save pictures now. If I right-click now, capture image, scan here, boom, my image is captured. It's up here now. All I've got to do, right-click, copy image, shut it down, boom, and I can post that in a second. So it's quick. So I'm just wondering if there's a way which you can kind of have something that automatically photograph. I mean, I'd like to watch him trade. Put it this way, if he streamed live, I'd stop my stream because I'd watch him. There may be a spike in channel there. But he's a good trader, and if you look at his charts, he picks stuff people miss. I can see that. So I was watching his charts last night. I had a good look at him, and I was just working out exactly what he was seeing, and he knows how to pick them, because when he gets into these trades, and he does take them, you can clearly see, because you can see where his entries and exits are. And when he trades, the thing moves, so he knows exactly where to get in. So I don't. So yeah, it'd be worth doing it. I'll certainly join. Put it this way: as far as I'm concerned, if you want to do something and there's somebody who knows good at it, as far as I'm concerned, pick his brains. That's what it's like, isn't it? And he's happy to help. This Tyler fella, yeah, he was. I've spoken to Tyler once or twice. He's got, I'll show you, the Trader's Den. That's Tyler there. But yeah, he was a bit miserable. Well, he did OTT a little bit, but I did take the piss out of him a bit, and he hit a smiley face. So it probably just came over that he was a bit snappy and miserable. But the thing is, what I know of Tyler, he just does it to kind of mix with other traders. Whereas, in my opinion, Daniel's got some skills. You know, he was doing well when I started trading 3.5 years ago. So him and Marco are two of the traders. Not that, Nick. Don't stay away from him. I'm only kidding. But those are the two traders that I keep an eye on. And if you want to be a trader, the way to do it is find someone who's good at it and follow them and learn from them, and you'll usually find most people are quite happy to help. And he is, sometimes I've messaged him at stupid o'clock. I know you guys in the US are between 5 and 8 hours behind me, so if I've not been able to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, I've messaged him in the past and he's always got back to me. So, still waiting on my bottle of scotch for subscribing to your channel. Scotch has gone up in prices. It's just the popularity of Scotch has just gone mad lately. I didn't think you US guys could handle this stuff. I thought it was too strong for you guys. You drink that watery stuff. What's it called? Bourbon? Scotch is for real men, I think. Which is why it took me so long to be able to drink it. But yeah, I think he's quite new to it. I think he's setting it up. But once it's up and running, he'll post his charts more. What I'm hoping he'll do as well, if he does get into the trade, he may right-click and save it. And if he does that, if you get a pullback, you can have a chance to jump in. That's my thought process. So what's happening now is this... Have we got kind of two legs back and this thing's going on? It's hard to know. It's hard to know exactly what's going on here. Let me have a quick look on the 10,000 tick chart, see if that gives us something. Okay, so that daily, we looked at that daily yesterday. This is the daily, isn't it? Yeah, this thing was down here, wasn't it, if you remember? We thought it might push down and clear that bullish bar out, but it didn't in the end. It ended up neutral. Now we've had a strong move up this morning. Obviously, the news has got something to do with that, but it's hard to know what's going on here. I mean, it's kind of looking like it, we may come down a bit more. It's hard to tell, so... who knows? That big uptrend you threw on there might be saying, yeah, I've got it on me other chart. Sometimes it's kind of nice to have another chart. Where's the 10,000 tick chart? It's kind of nice to have another chart because it can sort of give you a different perspective. So that's the 10. Wow, look at that. Push up, two beautiful legs back and a strong move up. Now that is a trade I would ordinarily have taken. Look at that. Now that's relatively clear. Big strong move up, two clear legs back, right to the EMA, broke below it, pushed up strong, and now it's pushing up. So that's interesting, that is. So we have got an area up here to clear. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So I was looking at that yesterday, then we had a break. I thought prices were going to come down here, but excuse me, who knows? So this does look like it's going up, doesn't it? Based on that 10th, I'm going to throw it on for now and see how it pays. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at it again. I have got it on my other chart up here somehow. Are you on about there? Or are you on about the whole thing? Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, does it? Trouble is, it's coming up to this area now. Now, quickly looking on that daily, it could turn there. So there's the daily. So we're up to the EMA now on the daily. So it's hard, we could turn and start to push down. We are making lower highs at the moment. So that's worth keeping an eye on. So, yeah. So, okay. So that's cleared that top anyway. So, sorry about that. So, spike in a channel often does that, doesn't it? A spike in a channel. So we've hit the EMA on the daily. So there's always that possibility now this thing could take a bit of a dump. Spike, leg and leg. Like that. So yeah, some people have put that into a larger channel. It doesn't work for me personally. Mind you, a couple of people have. He has. So he's got it like I had it, and it does look like it's going more sideways now. Uh, mm. Let's just throw a line in there. Oh, crap. I've got it on the other chart. But let's just put it on there just so at least we've got some sort of guidance as to where it could bounce from. I'm keeping in mind this. I don't know if you remember last time. Was it last week? We had about a 22 tick bar going down or with medium impact news. It's never really paid much attention, but I don't know if you remember last year sometime, it was mid to late last year, we had a massive move on it. And then we did last week, so I'm just going to pay attention to that if I can remember it. He thought we'd pull back to around about 50% retracement. Yeah, you never quite know with these. Sometimes we do this and then we recover it all. Other times we'll push up, kind of work sideways and then move again. So I wouldn't be shocked if we did have another leg. But we are at that EMA and the top of that possible channel on the daily. So who knows? So these, as Mac will call them, is a strong trend. That ATR's come right down. It was around about the 3s, it's come down. So is that an indication this thing may go quite a bit higher? Who knows? Who knows? The trouble is Mac will say sometimes, you know, every time it comes back to the EMA, if you just took a bull bar, but the trouble is, to really understand we've had a strong trend is when we've actually had it and it's kind of happened. Whereas we kind of missed the boat a bit. PS, same website as bar counter as a screenshot snap tool that might fit. Same website as a screenshot snapping tool which might fit what you want. I see what you mean. The only other way I used to do it was to type in the bottom, is it the snipe tool? But it was a bit long-winded, so this is quicker. If I right-click down the bottom and click capture image, I can go like that. Then it pops up on another screen and gives me this. I just right-click save image, or no, sorry, right-click copy image, and I can shut it down then. So it takes, I don't know, 5-6 seconds, something like that. But I'll have a look at that. It'd be nice if you can just have, I don't know, some sort of a, you know, some sort of a couple of keys on the computer just to sort of snap it and hold it, and something you can just drag. It would be nice. I don't know if there's a way you can trade your charts. You can actually put your chart live on Discord, is there? I don't know. Maybe when Daniel's used to conversing with other people while he's trading, he may decide to stream or do something different. Who knows? Who knows? The trouble is, he's good at it. He does well at it. He makes a lot of money out of it. So sometimes it's not worth adding a new dimension to your trading. Streaming isn't for everyone. I'm a bit of a talker, as you know. I think out loud, so it works for me, but it doesn't work for everybody. So I don't know. Maybe with time, he may decide to just add a little bit extra. Alt and S and save it quickly. Can use Alt and S. I don't know, mate. You just take. I won't try it now in case I screw something up, but I'll just take a quick photo of that comment and then I'll look later. In fact, I've got the couple together, bar size. I've got the two at the bottom, so the bar size one and Alt and S. There's probably a way, I would have thought. Okay, we're right down this area now. So spike channel for me, overshoot, and back to here. Now I can give that a little taste, but what I don't want to do is get straight into a trade here just in case. As I say, on the daily, we're at the EMA. We went above it there, but we went above it there, but pulled back. But we're at this area now. I don't know whether this will come down. It could be part of a bigger move up. But we haven't quite had. We've had that pullback. That was a little bit steeper, but this actually looks like a channel. So I don't know. Generally, the daily goes up, doesn't it, over time? But you never know where we may have a little pullback. looks like a new high of a funky uptrend, including the CPI. Yeah. So big bullish bar there, and it's triggered. So we may have a leg and a leg, or it could push up. I can't trust it to trade long at the moment, because although it could fit, it kind of does, because we've broken the highs here. I don't know. I mean, we could end up doing something like that, couldn't we? In which case, it may come down. So I'm just a bit unsure as exactly what to do at the moment. And unfortunately, that's a big chunk of trading, isn't it? So that big bullish bar off the key entry point has triggered. And now this is on its way back. So as I say, we could get a leg and a leg, as we often do, which means any buy stops that may be around there may get disengaged. So I wouldn't want to be in this trade now. It's come down that far. I'll be surprised if it doesn't break below there. There we go. So a leg and a leg. Yeah, it's hard going, this. So if you didn't have a spike in a channel and you had that as one complete channel, that would look like that. But in all honesty, at the moment, I'd rather keep it tight there and like that, because it does actually look like a spike and channel, with the exception of that push out. And after these overshoots, a lot of the time it does come straight back, push up, and then drops. So there is kind of a second entry long there, 2 legs back. I'm still not ready to take a trade here at the moment, because I just don't know. It's risky, I think, because, you know, I've had that like that, and we've had a little break. I mean, it is working by the looks of things, but, you know, I haven't really got a decent. I haven't got a Sierra Charts allows you to send images directly. Does it really? And single click, you might find Ninja. Ah, good point, mate. I'm going to take a photo of that. I'm going to have a search later, because if we can give Daniel a little bit of something to make popping his chart on his Discord easier, obviously, you know, he wants to keep things as normal as possible. So if it's just a couple of clicks of a mouse, he might just, you know, decide to randomly put it on every few minutes. Thomas does, but obviously Thomas is used to it. Let me just take another photo of that. I'll have a look at these later and see if I can find something. But that's what you want, ideally, really. If you can have some sort of button here, imagine having a button here, you could just click snap, and it snaps a picture and drops on a Discord. That would be so good, wouldn't it? If we can make his life easier or less complicated, he may decide to do a little bit more. What we got to kind of do is, when we get him, we're going to try and keep him. Just try and get as much out of him as we can. So, remember I said we could end up going sideways. Thomas Wade has got that at the moment. And I don't think that's terrible. I think it's certainly, I'll kill the colour, so it's an area of interest as opposed to, yes, it's definitely that. But it is up, down and up, isn't it? Obviously depends where it goes here. One of me is holding just one entry long though. It's not technically a second entry long, it's actually a third entry, but it's clearly 2 legs down. If you forget this, it's clearly a leg and a leg, so it's as good as a second entry long, but it's below the EMA, and at the moment the overall structure is a little bit unclear around this area. Now it does look like one of those days when we get that initial push up, it comes back and we'll get more of a move up. But just because that big bullish bar is at that EMA now, I'm not sure whether we may get a push in the opposite direction. For want of a better word, I haven't got a clue what's going on at the moment, so. So, leg and a leg, leg, leg. I think it'd take out these two, because after that overshoot, I dare say there's probably going to be some top hunters maybe short in this area. So I'll be surprised if it at least doesn't break above there. So if you've got that as a channel, we've got a leg and a leg back and a push up for a new high from this. So if you've got any type of channel there, this is actually cleared all that out. So I dare say there may be people selling there, thinking this thing may turn in the opposite direction. Where do you normally look the charts of Bitcoin or other cryptos? I can't pull them up on Ninja. I use TradingView just to browse things, but I trade them, and I say I trade them. I only spot them, which means I just buy them. I use Kraken in the UK. It's about the best one in the UK. I've used Bybit. I don't think we can use it in the UK at the moment, Bybit, but I liked Bybit. But I use Kraken. Spread's good. It doesn't cost anything. And if I withdraw something, it's in your bank within an hour. So personally, I like Kraken. But if you just want to view charts, TradingView is just as easy. And that's free as well. So, but Kraken I really like, actually. Yeah, you can view them on Binance. I just don't think you have Kraken as well. Yeah, I don't think you can use Binance and Bybit in the UK at the moment. You used to be able to, but I don't know, these things change. You're welcome, mate. The UK are a little bit strict, aren't they? They want some of these companies to follow certain guidelines, and if you're not following them, they don't want them. They don't want them to be used in the UK. So I've got bits in Kraken, not a huge amount, £1,500, something like that, maybe a little bit more. I've got a little bit in crypto.com, although that's quite pricey to use, but I couldn't get HBAR, wanted some HBAR, and I couldn't get HBAR on Kraken for some reason. Just need to transfer crypto over. Okay, yeah. I thought there was a way you transfer from one to another. You can do that, can't you? But I don't know because if you have a UK address, have you got to go down the IP route or something? The what's that bit of software you use to block your IP? I don't know whether you got to go down that route or not. But I like Bybit. When I used it, there's not many cryptos you couldn't get on there. So is that a leg up with a correction and another leg up? It could be. It was kind of a nice correction, that. The more I look at it, the more I kind of like it. But after that overshoot, if it was an overshoot, in fact, it may not even have been. Let's put it like that. Maybe it's just a break and a push up. It's irrelevant now anyway. Either way, we're up again. So, channel up, break, new high. So that's played out. Any chart channel you may have there, everything's played out at the moment. Tend to not cross crypto very much. Yeah, especially Luna. Yeah, you know, if you don't know much about crypto, you can get chopped up. If you're going to get into crypto and you're new to crypto, I would stick to the big guns. It's probably not the best time to start buying now, really. But if I was new to crypto, if I was maybe a young guy now, 20 or something with a bit of money, I'd wait till we come to the end of this bull market and then start buying things like Bitcoin. If you stick to things like Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, stuff like that, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. But I do know lots of people who've got hundreds of millions tied up in Bitcoin. You know, people like Michael Saylor is someone that I follow that just keeps buying and buying and buying. So I think there's a massive future for Bitcoin. And if I was a young lad and I had a few grand, I'd shove it into Bitcoin. I wouldn't forget it for 40 years. You had your account for regulation. Yeah, Revolut is good. Yeah, I have a Revolut account. It's a bit pricey though. If you notice when you buy on Revolut's, within seconds you're in the red. But I like Kraken. I do. The fees are tiny compared to things like Crypto.com and Revolut. Don't get me wrong, I think Revolut's great. It's great for foreign exchange. If I have my payments going to Revolut, not so much at the moment because Plain do it all for you, and they hardly charge you anything. But before Plain, I forget who it was now, I had to get it paid in there in dollars, and I used it. I can exchange it. If you have a certain account, you can exchange to whatever currency you want without charges at current market rate. So it was a good deal. That was when I sort of started. It was Rise. It was. If I got it paid into my normal bank with Rise, my bank would charge me something like, I don't know, 3 or 4%, which is, it mounts up. So, but Plain exchanges it for you, just puts it in pounds, and they don't really. It's a few dollars or something. It's not much. So, channel, maybe a small break and a new high. Trouble is, this bigger channel here is getting wider and wider. So, whether you maybe sort of bring it up to there and call it a spiking channel, who knows? In fact, what I'm going to do is just remove that now. Not sure about that either. I'm just going to call that a leg with a correction. Yeah, I mean at the moment we're definitely slowly moving up, but when does it end? That daily is concerning me. See, we're right here. So the last couple of times we've had a bullish bar, it's gone above it before it pulled back. Same there, it's gone above it before it pulled back. So it may not make a difference. It may still push up. It certainly could do. And the 10,000 tick chart, that was a nice correction actually. That's the type of correction I like, almost side by side. Clearly a little channel with a break, another channel. If I saw a trade like that on the 2,000 tick chart, I'd take it. Because often I find when you have a nice correction, that bar is usually small. And it does usually have a good move, and in this case it did. So, medium impact news coming up in about 20-25 minutes. I would pay attention to it. There has been a few times where it's had a strong move, surprisingly. So, channel break, new high. Yeah, it's hard to know whether this is going to continue up or come down. So, little channel with a break. Push down, made a new low. So, it may have eaten a few stops there. Yeah, it's starting to get a bit more sideways than upwards now. Is there anything like that? Maybe. Channel break, new low, big strong move off there. It's probably not terrible to buy there. I'll be more inclined as a higher low, really, just in case. It's a fair size bar considering the ATR's just under 2.5. But I think that is an indicator there's been buyers off there. Thomas Wade is the same channel, does he really? Does he? Oh, I keep doing this, looking at something and forgetting it's down here. Yeah, he does. So maybe that'd have been worth a buy. We got a channel with a break and a new low and a big strong buy there. It's too late now anyway, unfortunately, but it was rather large and you wouldn't have got a limit on it. So yeah, there's a couple of other people doing that now, so yeah, that looks much better. So I just use your code and got and got. Not sure what you mean there, bud. Thanks for using the code anyway. Got and got, are those supposed to be other words? And something and something. I bought that larger bar, 2 legs down, actually. Accidentally hit send. Give me a minute. Okay. Right, I bought the larger bar, 2 legs. There, did you? I bought that larger bar, 2 legs down, instantly trapping shorts. Are you on about here, there, or here? Either or, yeah. I mean, if I've only just put that there, seeing I was messing around with it when I saw that, but after a little micro trend like that and a break and a new low, it's bounced there. I think that's a good indicator this thing is going to maybe push up some more. The larger one after the fail second entry long. Oh, there. Yeah. That one there, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not sure here at the moment because we've just broken these highs, but now that's pushing up. Oh, it's struggling a bit now. So that would have worked nice, actually. I was just thinking at the moment, so I would have got my points. I don't like that, though. Has anybody took that? I'm surprised if someone hasn't taken it. Higher low, higher low. Right, okay. There is a higher low there, but to be honest with it, it's right into the highs, so I wouldn't take that because it could come back here. It may work, but I'm staying out of it. If it gets above here, there may be some stops there, but that is super risky, I think. That one's 9 ticks, so it's about 11 or 12 ticks. And as I say, it's right into the highs there, so that's super risky, that is. There is a little bit of a cap there, so there is a possibility this could come down here a bit. If it gets above here, it may have a push, but it's just too risky, that is. Unless you get in on the limit order, maybe. It's gone a bit too far, that has. Doesn't mean it's not going to work, but it's too much into the thick of the channel, that really. So, see, the trouble is, in my 3 points, I'd have to get up there, so it's just too far up, that is. You want your higher low really finishing here and with a bit of a tail, especially now you got that there. Straight away, you're going to be panicking unless you're out. Often I have Mac's voice in my head. We're moving too far to consider this. Yes, agreed. Mac wouldn't consider that a higher low. He'd consider it as a first break. I still call it a higher low sometimes, but there's a channel up there with the break. So it's more like a first entry. You're right. He wouldn't consider that a higher low. And sometimes you'll hear him say it, but at other times he'll say, no, it's too far. Yeah, I mean, that's more like a higher low, really. Lower high if you're going to take that, but yeah. I got Replicanter the other day and was wondering if something happened with the Rhythmic and your orders won't close after you stop. I can flatten a Replicanto. To be honest with you, all Replicanto does is triggers the other trades. Ultimately, when you close it here, what I'll say to you is always have rhythmic. These two things are rhythmic, yeah? Always have these there, and if ever these are moving, you'll have if you're into a trade, you'll have in this box. You can see this box here, can't you? In this box here. So if I open, I don't think it'll work until I open it.
Submitted.
No. Once one of my trade triggers, you'll
Order
see it
canceled.
here, and there'll be a red X in it if the trade's live. So after a trade closes, if there's any red X's, you can just close them down. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what Ninja Trader's doing. You know, sometimes if you notice with Ninja Trader in my positions tab, often I'll see a couple of them left over. In which case I'll disconnect Ninja Trader from connections and reconnect it. It's not so important here. It's more important that that you've got nothing live in rhythmic. So always have these two boxes. There's me positions and here's me accounts. It's crazy to think that almost 5 years and starting with colour bars on a white background and trying to make a living from it. I know. It's weird, isn't it? Trading does feel like my job now. Like the norm. I was pleased with yesterday. I walked away and I felt fine and I was down. I wasn't down a huge amount, but ultimately that's been my biggest struggle to get away at the end of the day. And I seem to be able to do that. And obviously, Guardian Angel is helping me. So it's helping me get out of some bad habits. I know, yeah, it's strange, isn't it? I've been trading now just a touch over 4 years. I think I started in November because I remember my wife bought me a couple of books for Christmas. And I've been looking at trading, accidentally, actually. Yeah, you're welcome, Chad, anytime. No, I used to do something called, I don't know whether you US guys know, I used to do something called matched betting. Now, it sounds like gambling, but it's not. And what it is the online bookmakers, when you sign up to them, you often get offers. So, for instance, Coral or Betfair or Betfred, any of those, you're probably aware of them in the US, will say, bet £10 of your own money and they'll give you a £50 free bet. So, there are companies, Profit Accumulators one, Odds Monkey is another one, where you sign up to this company. And there's about a £20 a month subscription, which you can cancel any time. But they provide all the software. So what you do to simplify it quickly is I bet £10 of my money, say for Liverpool to beat Man United, and as well as that bet, I've got to do something called laying the bet, which means betting against it. And you do that on a betting exchange. So effectively, it doesn't matter whether I win or lose. One cancels the bet out, so you don't really lose any money. There is a small qualifying loss, which is usually about 25 pence in every £10, but it's negligible. And then when you get the free bet, that's when you use this online software and it tells you, find yourselves a good match, and it'll tell you bet on this and lay on that, and you make profit, typically 70 to 80% profit off every free bet. And I did that for a couple of years, and after a couple of years, the bookmakers start to get wise and they what they call gub you. So they just restrict you from they restrict you from any of the offers, because bookmakers will always give you offers throughout the year depending on what race is on or this. And then a couple of people said they were doing something called Betfair Trading, which is trading sports bets. And obviously once I started YouTube in trading, one thing led to another, and here I am 4 years later. If you'd have told me I'd have been a trader 5 years ago, I'd have thought you were crazy. Mind you, calling myself a trader might be a little bit extravagant just at the moment, but we'll see. Yeah, you can be hard on yourself for taking losses when you go up 3 points losses. About to happen, yeah. If you were scalping one tick and losing every day. Yeah, see, I'd taken a small profit yesterday and that loss, and I was only down $150. whenever I've been down $600 or $700 or $800, that's a lot more painful and probably a bit more than we should be in the day, which is why I have Guardian Angel set to 1 loss. So even on a big trade, I might be down $450, which 2 winning trades, I'll be back in the green. So I kind of like down 1 trade because I think at my level now, if I lose $300 or $400 in trade and carry on trading, I think that would probably impact my patience just a touch, but enough to maybe get me into a slightly riskier trade. But overnight, any kind of emotions that were there are completely gone. And I don't suffer from emotions the way I used to, but I think they're still there a little bit, if I'm honest with myself. So I kind of like the fact that 1 loss and I'm done for the day, and I've never done enough damage that would cause my accounts to blow. And whenever I felt like this, a few days later, if you ask me the last time I took a loss and felt like, I can't remember, because you win a few trades and all of a sudden you're in a nice frame of mind and you've forgotten all about the losses. So once you get through that initial hurdle of walking away after losses, those losses become a thing of the past and you forget all about them. And then you get back on your normal process of winning way more. So I'm turning now. Well, that could mean a lot of things, can it? But I'm turning from that person who still struggles to a person now who's started now slowly to able to grow an account, start to take some payments. So I don't feel miserable. I don't hate trading, which I have done in the past at times. And I'm in a good place at the moment. I was reading a lot of older posts on Facebook group. You've come a long way. We all have, Daryl. We all have. You kind of, the difficult part about trading, why so many people fail at trading, is because that they have enough and walk away. So if you've got that staying power and that stubborn mind to not give up, I think you'll succeed at trading, whether it takes you 2 years or whether it takes you 6 years. Some it'll be a bit quicker, others it'll take a bit longer. But you kind of have to go through all these things to make you a better trader, and it's called experience. With trading, it's painful experience because unlike a lot of other lessons in life, it costs money. And that's why it kind of has that extra little bit of pain in your guts. Because it's okay losing trades, not so much losing money when you're new to it. But once you've done something so many times, it's impossible for it to have that same effect on you. And you do get used to it. And this, for me now, has started to become like a normal part of my day. I've been doing it long enough now. But yeah, you do grow in experience and maturity as well. But it does take time. And I kind of can't remember what it felt like to not been able to spot a good trade now. But mentioning Daniel earlier, I remember messaging one saying, why isn't this trade working? It's a second entry. He went, yeah, but it's a second entry short in an uptrend. So even something that sounds as obvious as that, I was making mistakes. No, I don't anymore, no. I made about 22,000 out of trading, and I get about 1,200 a month from the affiliates as well, so it's enough to give me a wage. Not a huge wage, but we manage okay. But it enables me to do what I want to do with the rest of my life. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. I did earlier part of last year, but when I started making bits of money with the little bits I have from affiliates, it gave me enough of a wage. And you know, I knew a couple of years ago I wanted to trade for a living, and I changed my job from full-time to working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But sometimes if you want something bad enough, you just kind of move heaven and earth to a degree to kind of get it. But I do love the fact that I only work 2.5, 3 hours a day. I have a daughter that has ADHD and a little bit of autism, so she spends a lot of time off school, so I'm at home with her, and I kind of like it. Works well for us. My wife works 4 days a week, and the way things are fits our life just nice. Dealing with us is a full-time job. I don't know. I think I'd go crazy without being able to talk to people. Really most of my trading career, if we can call that, and I've done it where I'm chat with other people, but it must be really boring if you're by yourself stuck in a room. I know some traders trade a lot of hours. I mean, we scalp, so it's a little bit fast moving and a bit more stressful, but if you trade the 15-minute or the hourly or something like that, you may be at your chart 8 hours a day and some. So I like company. It's nice to have people to talk to and kind of share your journey with as well. I think the more people you share your journey with, the more you learn, because you pick off those as well. You hear comments and you pick off them and you learn from them. It's always best to learn something with other people because you learn at a faster rate and you get more of a broader experience, I think. News in 6 minutes. I'm glad you reminded me. So channel down with a break, lower high. Now, ordinarily, you wouldn't want to take a short here, although you'd expect 2 legs down because that more or less will be a counter trend trade. But if you only scalped a point, I don't see why you might not take one of these on an engulfing or something. But see, channel down with a break, 2 pushes. I'd be looking for a long off here somewhere. Hopefully, that news comes and goes quick. So leg and a leg. So at the moment we're fitting. This is quite nice. So if we have a good reaction to this, most of the time it doesn't make a difference, but just on the odd occasion it can go a bit mad. They try to trade. One day I tried to trade the full trading day, and I was when I first started, I was finishing, because I was bricklaying at the time. I was finishing about 4, because we started about 7:30. I was finishing at 4 o'clock. I'd come straight home and I'd go on the charts from 4:30 to about 8:30. So I was doing about 4 hours. And then when I changed from working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I was doing probably about 6 to 7 hours a day. But yeah, I mean, I've chatted with Marco about this, and he only does 3 hours max. He says he's exhausted after. And in all fairness, if you get a trade, you don't need really to do stupid hours. As I say, if you were trading the 15-minute or the hourly chart, you wouldn't need to sit glued to your computer like this. You could come and go a bit more freely. Maybe keep an eye on the computer, in your living room or something, on a laptop or on your phone. And then if you see some kind of options, just turn up at your PC and do what you got to do. Whereas this is a hands-on way of trading. You can't really disappear as such with this. But I like that. My brain works quite quick. I talk quite quick. I'm quite a wired person, so this kind of speed of movement seems to suit me. But they do say, I have heard somebody mention, Al Brooks said, if you're new to trading, don't start with scalping. Which I kind of did, but I don't know. So channel break, 2 pushes to a new low. Ideally, if I was going to trade here, obviously depending on that news, I'd kind of be wanting to trade off this area. And usually, unless it's obvious, I always like to take that higher low, less chance of getting trapped. But at the moment, price does look like it's working in here quite nice. We've been up to the top there, close enough there, right to the top there. Touch. So it visually looks nice. So we got the news in about just over a minute and a half. Excuse me a sec. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll only be a minute. Okay. Right, news, 30 seconds, good. Ideally, I want to be looking to trade here, so that gives 20 seconds for the news to come and go. Sometimes it can be erratic, but if it doesn't usually last long, so 10 seconds and we should have something. As I say, sometimes it just does nothing, but just occasionally. No, nothing. Sometimes it doesn't do nothing, but just once in a while you get a quick flick. So 2 legs down. There is a higher low there. I wouldn't want to go long there just yet because it could come a bit lower. But now we're above that here, it may just continue to work. But I just I don't like having this gap here. There's always a possibility this may come down, break below here and touch this line. There's going to be some stops here, possibly below there. So you never know, dear. I just don't like the fact we got a bit of a gap there. The last 3 times it's been down, once, twice, 3, it touched that line and it hasn't there. So my gut feeling is some of these trades here, there is a higher low there, really. They're a bit weak, I think. They don't strike me as the kind of place where traders are going to feel confident enough to buy. So my concern is, based on that this comes down, clears out any possible weak positions here, and then may start to move up if it does continue up, and it looks like that's what's going to do. Buying here, for me, they're kind of floating at an angle. Like, they just don't look, I think the stronger this position, I mean, look how nice that looks now. The stronger position you get into off here is a good indicator where this go, and this thing just took off, didn't it? So at the time, I wasn't thinking, but ordinarily, that would be a nice trade to take, really. Channel break, new low, strong move off there. So that's done what I thought it might do, clear up some of this. Now what's it going to do? It doesn't want to go down any lower. I'm going to give it a little bit of space. Oh. Bitcoin's pushing. Now that, let me just have a look at my other chart. That doesn't look like a bad place to go long. Oh no. It's not a bad bar off the bottom here, unfortunately. Yeah, you can't take that, really. It's not a fantastic bar, and it's always nicer to break below there, but we've had a channel with a break. We may get 2 pushes to a new low. I mean, we're moving in this channel at the moment, but there's no guarantees for how much longer. Could end up getting something like that. It's just not looking good, is it? So on this chart, if you took that there, I think there's a good chance that's going to get stopped down. Yeah, it didn't look as good on here. It looks like a break. Yeah, that looks like a break on this chart. So, bit of a shiver there, I'm on here. Yeah, this is getting a bit after the wider uptrend. There was 2 measured legs to a new high. You're about there and there, are you? I did put that initially, but I got rid of it. What about there and there? Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's just hard to know where this is going to go. Yeah, you just got to sit tight here at the minute. From the second uptrend. Are you on about here, are you? Oh, no, it can't be. Yeah, I've got one there, haven't I? From there to there to there. You're about there, aren't you? Trend break 2 legs. Yeah. Yeah, this is looking a bit dicey now. On my other chart, it's definitely a break. This one is as well. So I'd expect 2 legs down. Whether it'll come down and clean these areas out or not. I would expect a new high from this, but it could take the scenic route before it, so I'm not in a hurry to go long here. It could start ranging any time. There's always that possibility, and if it does, it could come down as slow as this, couldn't it? We're just going to have to sit and wait here until it figures out what's going on. But the bigger picture is a little bit vague at the moment, isn't it? We've had this push up with a couple of legs back, and we've had this push up with 2 more legs. Didn't realise how nice that looked actually. Now it's pushed up there. The trouble is you can't unsee that. That's actually quite a nice correction, isn't it? And a strong bull bar there. And then it took off, didn't it? Nice and strong. That was heading for the hills, and nothing was going to stop that. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm wondering, let me just touch the tops there. Wonder if there's going to be something like this. It is too early. That's the kind of thing that Mac would look for. Trouble is, if we have something like that, it could potentially come down a lot lower. So it's too early, really. But I certainly think it's worth keeping it in mind. Let's have a look on the 10,000 again. 10,000, that push up, 2 legs of correction, 2 pushes up, and 2 legs back. It could get below there, see. That push up and a pull back there maybe stops there. That doesn't look like the strongest position to me. It's floating a little bit there, so this could come back a bit more, but there may be a little leg with a break and a bullish bar. So, channel break, 2 pushes to a new strong push up. I don't know. If I was watching Thomas now, he would be saying, I'm looking for a high low above here now. I just don't know. Push up, little pullback. Just going to go again. I wouldn't want to take this. It's going up too steep for me. If we are going to push and make a new high, I'd want it to kind of go at that angle. So this pulled back to somewhere, didn't it? Pull back, strong bullish bar, and then across and then down. So, I don't know, do you call that an overshoot? I think it'd be safe to, wouldn't it? Mac has that. This one here. Something like that, yeah. It's funny. That's the type of channel he has. Is it more like that, is it? Does he have it like that, does he? That's the type of thing Matt kind of goes for. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny enough. Someone's just posted that, so I'm assuming he's seen the same sort of thing. So, well, we got to assume he's right, haven't we? He did that yesterday, didn't he, with this? A couple of days ago with this channel. Yeah, I didn't think it looked right, but it did work as a channel. We had nice correction, push up new high, so maybe these slightly less steep. I mean, it doesn't look overly less steep for Mac. If it was more like that, I'd say maybe a bit odd, but that's got a little bit of height to it, so that's not terrible, I don't think. So channel down, maybe an overshoot. Is this thing going up? Trouble is if you've got that one, where do you take a long from? Down here or? Yeah, I think that's okay. So I'm going to keep that, but I'm just going to kill that. Otherwise, we were waiting for trades off here. Channel overshoot, 2 pushes to a new high, or is that a correction? Still not easy to trade, really. I might have another year with Mac, maybe later in the year. I have done 2 years over the last 4. I did over the last 3.5 actually. I did a year, then had a break for 6 months, did a year. I think it's good to go back and go over the basics, because sometimes that second time around, you may pick up some things you missed the last time you were there. Yeah, it's not the easiest day so far, is it? Hopefully. I think it would do it good to get down here, wouldn't it? That would give us a little bit more of an obvious structure. And not only that, it does look like a bull flag, doesn't it? So my gut feeling, and if this is a channel, then it may get below here. Two attempts to push up. See, I'd say look for a lower high here, but it's still a bit unclear. There'll be some stops there, quite likely, possibly here. Thinking this is thing going up. So you'd naturally think this would come down and clear this area. If it is a bigger chart, then this area is certainly a target where there may be some buyers. Okay, on my other chart, there's failed second entry short. If that comes down, there's going to be stops there, and stops there. You'd like to think, wouldn't you? Channel, 2 attempts to push up. It's very tempting, that.
Order submitted.
I like this. Maybe not now. I'd have taken that short if that would have fit nice, because I believe it's likely to come down here. Unfortunately, the bar wasn't very good. See if we get a lower high or a second entry short. This looks like it's coming down to me. There's going to be stops there, here, and possibly here. So leg and a leg down. I just don't want to put a bar here with that inside bar. Doesn't Thomas Wade call it something else? I can't remember. A double bar entry or something. There's going to be stops there. So yeah, this is coming down for me. Here and here. A leg and a leg. Yeah, never mind. Sometimes it just doesn't work. So I'd hold that. So 3 points. So I would have to, in fact, it's a bit more. I would have to get down to there to push through. Leg and a leg. Let me just
Order
shut that
canceled.
down. Oh, where's that gone? See if we get a lower high or something. Second entry long. Let's see if this triggers. It's too far from that EMA, unfortunately. Leg and a leg. Yeah, that'll break below there. There it goes. Yeah, so that would have worked. It's just a shame that wasn't at least a high channel down with a break. I always like it if it traps there, but clearly worked for 3 points comfortably. But the signal bar wasn't fantastic. If the signal bar was better, I'd have had a go at it. My gut feeling it was going to clean out some of this, and it has. Yeah, a few people here was as well. Hold on a minute. I keep doing this. Lower high. Second entry short, yeah. It's just nice to confirm with some other charts, have a look at other charts that people are thinking that same thing. Shame, really. The bar wasn't better. It was like what I think Thomas Wade calls it, a double bar entry, something like that. I'm not fully aware of it. I may look into it. So it's either like that or it's like that, and we've had a break to push us to a new low. So not sure. Let's put it like that for the minute. So if Mac has got it like that, you'd expect if it's going to continue up that there might be some buyers around this area. Okay, that would get us a leg and a leg. We got kind of a leg down with a correction. There was that lower high bar, wasn't fantastic. I think there's a good chance we get down this area. That will give us a leg and a leg down. Oh, a nice bearish bar up here. Second entry short fell break out of this. Let's get a little order ready just in case. Well, I wasn't expecting that quite strong. Yeah, I never expected that. Now that's interesting. Trouble is, there's always a possibility that we've already had a break, 2 pushes to a new low. Very tempting, this. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's possible, or it could be here. It's hard to say. Ordinarily, a little bit of a fell break out there, but I don't like the bar anyway, so I'd have likely held on there just in case. We got a touch there, a touch there, a touch there, so it's fitting there now. I don't think it's terrible, but the trouble is when the overall is up, you know, it's hard to know where this thing's going to come down. I mean, this is a channel. There's a significant break. This is down. So maybe we just need a bigger break. Maybe we push up to this area and then move down. So it doesn't look like a significant break for me, that. So I'm just going to sort of... Shoot. I don't think it's terrible. Going short here. But I'm going to sit tight, give it the benefit of the doubt, because if that's fitting, and it's not terrible, it's a small break, so I'd like to maybe push up and hit some, you know, some area up here. I wouldn't be ready to buy here anyway. If I was going to buy, it would be down here somewhere. Scan channel is a spike in channel with a break. This is interesting. There's going to be some like to think there's going to be some stops there, don't you? Channel break, new high, bearish bar. Gets below there, yeah. So that wouldn't have worked yet, personally, but glad I stayed out of it. Yeah, it's too steep, that, and the moves, you want to be out before here, really. It's just gone too far. At the moment, price is kind of working down. Whether we've had a break, 2 pushes for a new low, maybe we have. I'm not convinced. But what I will say is we've had a micro there with a break and a new high, so I'm just a bit on the fence here. I mean, it could push up a bit higher. It could come straight down. There is a lower high there, so maybe it's going to push down here. It's hard to say. I won't want to take that on the engulfing. We've already pushed below there and taken out any stops. Is there going to be buys down here? I'm not convinced there is. So I don't know whether this is strong enough to continue down. Maybe it is. So if you did take that on the engulfing, 3.25 points. Not quite, but I think it probably will. If I took that on the engulfing, which would be about there, I'd have to push. That may have taken it out. It's probably going to get below this area, I think. Yeah, it did work. Maybe get a leg and a leg down to here. Maybe we get a failure. Yeah, it's not super clear. I mean, there is a lower high there, but it's not super clear. Wow, look at that. Definitely some buy in there. Definitely. We got a channel down there. 1 attempt to go higher. 2nd attempt to go higher. Wow, look at that. I didn't expect that. As soon as we hit that level, some buying came in. So channel down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher. Well, Yeah, this is interesting. It's almost like a penguin trade. This 2 attempts to push higher, failure, push below that EMA. So if you took this as a, let's put it there, as a penguin trade there, you'd be out before the lows. This is my gut feeling that's going to push down below there. So this will be a penguin style trade. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher, strong push below the EMA. And I think that is likely going to push below there. Now look at that. Bullish bar triggered. Leg and a leg down. There's a bullish bar there. ILO triggered. My gut is this is going to come down. I wouldn't trade on it. It's just what I'm thinking. Channel down. 2 attempts to push up. Strong push below that EMA. Or there is a possibility. There's a bit of a range going on here. It's very tempting, that. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. No, I don't like where it's closed. If that closed down here, my gut was going to tell us we were going to push down. We get below there and there, clears them out, gets closer to this channel. I don't think it's a terrible trade, actually. I'm staying out of it just because of where it is. But if it gets below there, it might target these lows. It's channel down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher, push strong down the EMA, a little bit of a pullback. Relatively bearish bar. I just don't like how it's finished. If that finished a bit lower, my gut feeling is this would go down. I don't think this market is ready to move up strong until it gets down to here. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'd like to see it get below all this before it pushes higher. That's if it pushes higher. Someone's taking a long trade above that. Now there's a failure there. I still don't want to go long here at the moment. It is a bit sideways, and we've been to the top, which means it could trap some trades and comes down, but there's some shorts in there, so it's triggered that, could push up. It's a toss of a coin for me. I would like it to see it break these areas before it pushes higher. So my gut is that it's going to come down below all this. Now, when it does it, is a different thing, but I'll be surprised if there's enough buyers to push this higher at the moment. So I'm not saying it won't go and take stops out, but for me, it's got to clear all this area really before it moves up. Before there's enough buyers in there. There's going to be buyers in this area, isn't there? but you never know ultimately. It kind of looks rangy as well. Is it rangy at this level or is it rangy at this level? I was buying, it was sell limits being pulled from the order book. It wasn't. So 1, 2, 3, is that a triple test? Okay, got a break, 2 pushes, matching high. There's going to be a ton of stops in there. You can bet your bottom dollar. Triple test. My gut is this is going to push down below all this. That's the first that's going to go. Then that. Look where we're bouncing. So before this thing goes higher, it needs to push down and clear out this area. How has it got below there? It has, I think. It needs to get below there. Channel down, 1, 2, 3, triple test. And then down, clearing out all these stops. I wouldn't have bought it. It's too dangerous, I think. We're too far off this if that's where it is. As I say, channel down, 2 pushes up. It didn't break above this level and it made that profit. So that penguin style trade worked. It came up matched it, but it didn't break above it. And now it's pushed down, cleared all that out. So that trade would have worked. So channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. Lower high maybe, or a triple test, whichever we want to call it, but all that's cleared out now. So we're at an area now where this thing could move up. It's just a shame we didn't get a lower high. I may have had a go. So channel break, new low. Someone said he risked the trip. Yeah, see, it wasn't a fantastic bar on mine. The other one wasn't too bad, but it was a lot bigger. There was one on there, but that bar was quite large. Tick above, tick below. It was about 4.5 points, $450 times 8. I mean, yeah, I mean, it clearly worked. That would have been an area I'd have targeted. It's certain circumstances, I will hold a little bit. And if you get to there, you put it a tick below there, 5 points, clearly worked. You got to be confident to sit and hold that. So triple test, 1, 2 pushes down to a new low, which would take us to somewhere around about there-ish. We're below all this now, see, so maybe there will be some buyers coming in. I'd still like to see that go that little bit lower. I wouldn't want to buy there. I'd like it to just come out a little bit lower. I mean, it may come down here, or it may go sideways a bit longer until it eventually meets this area here. Possible second entry, sure. I won't take it, but I'd expect it to clear this area out again. Often that first one gets taken out, especially if we're off that bottom. If traders are looking at something bigger. But I'm not interested taking a short here. Never triggered anyway. Really choppy. Yeah, it is a bit. Not the easiest of days. It is readable. For the most part. Trouble is, when you have that big push up, it kind of messes. I don't know, it just kind of messes things a little bit, doesn't it? It's readable, but it's hard to know where, it's planning on continuing up, or is this 2 moves up now come to an end? And we finish with these lows. I'd still like it to come down again, at least get somewhere. Okay, well, it makes its minds up. I've been trading for an hour and 45 minutes now. I'm just going to go and make a quick cup of tea. So I'm going to pop that on my screen. Nothing's happening here at the moment anyway. It may come down, it may not, but I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes and I'll be back. Okay, right. Finally, 2 legs down again, clean that layer up. So, triple test, 2 pushes down to a new low. So, let's see what this thing does now. It is now starting to push off that key entry point. Just get rid of it. It's beautiful. Now, are we going to get a bounce? I could adjust that slightly. I'm sitting tight at the moment until we get some sort of direction, because you never know, it may just decide to turn and come back down. We haven't made a measured leg yet. We could do. Let me just have a look on a book map. Let's see if there are buyers around there. You may hear a bleep for a second, but I'll just kill it. There's buyers at 67, which is around here. There's 300 odd orders at 68ish, which is around about there. So this may come down lower. 67 to 68. So my gut feeling is this is going to come down to around about this measured move, funnily enough. I don't need that there, do we? We got the measured move there. So my gut feeling now is this. Mind you, they're getting lower, those orders. 65 now below there. So I never take that first one anyway. There was nothing there to buy, to be honest with you. Now, obviously, things can change. 64, 65 around here. So, trouble is, it doesn't take into consideration our orders down here. It doesn't take into consideration aggressive buyers. But there are orders sat down there at 66, if you can see them, which is around about the measured move. So I'd like to see this measured leg played out, which is around about where those orders are. Now, it may do, it may not, I've got no idea. So channel down, triple test, 2 pushes to a new low, and a final push clearing out anything here. So, I mean, it's sat in a nice place there, so maybe a buy order wouldn't be a bad thing, but I'm staying out of it at the moment because we're doing this. So I don't want to get into a long trade just yet, because it may not keep going. What I will say, I mean, that's bounced there, lovely. If we can get a higher low above this after those pushes down, I don't think that's a bad. So triple test, 2 pushes down to a new low, cleared off anything here. Look, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got quite a few bars sat there. So that certainly worked. I don't just like buying at these. I know Mac will show later that you may buy their channel 2 pushes, and it does sit nice, but I don't like just assuming. I want to see some confirmation this thing's pushing up, really, and just having a bar like that isn't enough for me. How big is that bar, incidentally? It's not something that I generally like doing. I don't think it's huge, is it? So you can get in for that, really, I think, for about 3 points. 3 points risk. It looks to be in the crossover. it depends. What I don't know what moving averages are you using. See, from a price action, pure price action, we're touching nice there. We've got that spike up, we've got a bounce, and a strong move off there. So my gut feeling is this is going to continue on up, at least for the time, temporarily. So that would have worked. I only scalped for 3 points. And I know Max got that chart. The same as that. So he will be seeing that. But you know, how long does it go up for? I don't think there's 21 and 50. Yeah, so I have the 21, so yours will be here. Push up, pull back. Second entry long, yeah, I'd be interested in. I was just looking. I don't think there's anything. I mean, it's possible. I don't think so because, and the reason I say that is because we've had this channel with a triple test and 2 pushes to a new low. We did go a little bit lower, but we just cleaned out any possible stops, and that clearly had some strong buying off. Now, whether that strong buying will continue on up, who knows? You're on the 1 minute chart at the moment. I still think the pullback. Flip a coin at the close, yeah. I mean, there's always a possibility of a bigger downtrend. I don't think there is. But I'm still not confident in buying just yet. It is interesting that it's bounced there and there's been some strong bars there. So there's clearly been some strong buying there. Is that an indication this thing's going up? Maybe. Depends what happens here. So you don't really want to see that and then straight back down, do you, if you think this thing's strong enough to go up? Say my long side is selling OTM. Put some month out. It is. Well, regardless of what our thoughts are, at the moment it's going a little bit sideways. So see what happens here. I was hoping we'd get closest measured move because there was some big orders down here. But that's strong buying there. But if you're buying here, are you taking profits here or are you expecting this thing to push up? Price been bouncing off the overnight highs, yeah. Holy hell. I'm not sure what he's looking at. That's a bit complicated looking. Yeah, so he's thinking a possibility of a larger channel. Pray and hold, I like that. So there's a few mixed feelings out there, and rightly so, I think. It's definitely a little bit sideways and a bit choppy, so it could be a bit trappy. It's interesting to see that buying off there. Now, whether it'll hold remains to be seen, but it doesn't look to me like this is strong enough to continue on up as of yet. You can imagine with all these bounces off here, there's going to be some stop losses above here, possibly here as well. So if it does push up, it's going to have to get through that lot. Channel down, triple test. There's bound to be people short in this area, you know, thinking this thing's going to recover a lot of this. I suppose it's natural, isn't it? You have such a big move up, there's going to be people picking tops, which means, you know, it's going to have to push up above all this. So all we can really do at the moment is I'm going to have a sip of my tea and we'll just sit and watch it, let it make its mind up. So that's definitely interesting. That gave all the good signals that this is confirming that there's likely something larger. and it was a little bit congested there. And I like it when that happens. There's a bunch of bars and they kind of don't know what to do with themselves, and all of a sudden that drops below all this, and then the buying starts, and that pushed up relatively quick and relatively strong. I mean, that was 7 points relatively quickly, so there was definitely buying there. Having said that, a couple of legs down, there was some profit taken here, which takes, so we'll see. See what happens here. Yes, someone shorted that. Well, their bar's a lot more bearish. It's around about there. Okay, that's cleared that out. When I looked on Bookmap, there was some orders around about this area. I'd have liked to have seen that measured move, but I don't know what's going on now. Is this thing on the turn? Who knows? Okay, right to that measured move. Yeah, there's a couple of people with channels right from the top. The only issue I have with that is, where do you put it? There. Trouble is, it's missing everything out. The bottom doesn't look terrible, but you're missing all this out, and you've got a couple of touches there. So I don't know. Maybe it's looking more and more like it. Okay, so a leg and a leg. So Mac had this the other day, and I wasn't a massive fan of it. It was there. It looked a little bit shallow for me. He had that there, and we had 2 legs back, and it did push up. So I wonder if this has the same plan in mind. Let's call that like that. So a channel, a correction, and down. So that's actually gone below that. I narrated us here. I'm so sick of everyone pushing selling courses, etc. I just like having some background on other people's opinions, but so far are the most chill, but still interactive. Yeah. See, I'm not thinking about short at the moment or picking tops until I can figure out what's going on. In other words, good on you. Yeah, half the battle at the moment is getting the right direction, isn't it? You like other smart traders, and mostly cash right now, I'm guessing. Mostly cash. 70-cent cash at the moment. Prop firms I'm using at the moment, if that's what you mean. So we got a leg and a leg. Yeah. It's hard to know. I mean, we've had this initial push up. See, sometimes you see the news and it pushes up and then within 10, 20, 30 minutes it recovers it. Other times it pushes up, then kind of finds a level and slowly continues to work, which looks like what it's done. And we had a nice bounce there. And I thought that confirms that channel and some strong buying. But then once we started to hit this level, it's looking like there's sellers up here and stops up here, which kind of gives it a little bit of protection. All of a sudden, then we just dropped. So, I don't know. You need to find some direction, really, before you trade. And the direction at the moment is just a little bit, I don't know, is it up, is it down? Is it sideways? I mean, it may hit this level here and then kind of bounce again, but I don't know at the moment. There's nothing you can do, really, is there? I just mean I've been sitting on my hands for a month now, basically. I fraction the account because I'm not confident market. Yeah, I don't take a lot of trades at the moment. I tend to average around about 3 a week, to be honest with you, which is not a lot. I'll only go for a few points. I don't take big moves. So is this now on the turn? Who knows? Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. The boss has just arrived. Okay, strong move down. Are we having a couple of legs up and is this thing coming down some more? This is as good as mine. I get bored. I do quite a few little 1k side bets on stuff though, mostly. Break even, 50-50, yeah. Like earnings gambles. So, strong push down. Is this just a pullback? Possible second entry short. If I was going to think about shorting, it would have to be up here. A couple of attempts to push up with a bearish bar. But am I convinced this thing is going to go down? Is it not just 2 legs and then it's going to push up for a new high? As we know, most of these channels, when we have a break, will make a new extreme. I'm not convinced this is on the turn. It may be, it may not be. Or if it's ranging, it may bounce and push up. Do I really want to think about going short here? Okay, so okay. On my other chart, that's not looking too bad, but am I convinced this thing isn't going up, in which case it may trigger me and work up some more. So I don't know whether I'm thinking about shorts at the moment. No, that bar on my other chart's finished a doji. This is a bit vague, isn't it? So I think I'm just sitting on the fence at the minute. Where are you from, bud, anyway? Mythic Teddy, where are you from? Okay, 2 legs up, big bearish bar. Ooh, do we go short there? Do we go short? I have to wait at the moment. I may consider a lower high, but I'm not sure. There may, depending on how you add this, there may be an overshoot, which means it could do anything really. There's definitely a bearish bar, but it's just a bit. Yeah, see, some people have got that as a bigger channel. I'm not convinced it is. But let's give that the benefit of the doubt, in which case we have an overshoot. It doesn't fit terrible. So it never triggered that bar anyway, and I would have avoided it initially because I'm not sure on the bias of the market at the moment. We know what it's been doing. We don't know what it's deciding to do. If that is an overshoot, Sometimes it can mean a reversal, which means if in the States I live on the beach side of South Alabama. I got you. Google Gulf Shores. We have got, there's a couple from Alabama, aren't they? What's it's from Alabama, isn't he? What's his name? Oh, I've gone blank. What's his name? Show you. He's from Alabama's probably a big place in the UK. If you talk about place, you kind of know everyone, but Daniel Kushin. I'd say, do you know him? But I'd say, yeah, he's from Alabama. So what does it say? No, it doesn't, does it? No, it doesn't. I don't want to go into his personal thing, but he's from Alabama. Daniel. Okay, so it's kind of legs up, a couple of legs up. There is a bearish bar, but I'm not convinced I want to go short here at the moment. Just let's say you drive 25 minutes in any direction and welcome in the middle of it. Fair enough. There's going to be some stops there, isn't there? Is it Regions Financial, Daniel? Daniel Kushin, his name is, so I'm not sure. Works for Regents in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm not sure, bud. I'm not sure. Is Nick here? Nick might know. Nick knows him quite well. I don't know if Nick's here at the moment, is he? I'm not sure. He does well. As part of a large trading group. He might be. I know he does well. He trades some serious I think he trades 100 contracts. Quite a few locals. I'm not sure. I was part of a large group on Discord. I don't know whether he is. I know he's starting his own soon, but he trades 100 contracts, or he did at last count. So he's a youngish guy. I think he's in his he's in his late 20s, I think. He's not old. I've turned up again, yeah. So a couple of legs up, the bearish bar. Is this bearish bar trapped? Is this thing going higher? It's hard to say at the moment. There's bound to be some shorts there. 100 contracts, 2 times 6 wins 8. 6 ticks he goes for, doesn't he? 6 ticks. There's bound to be some shorts there. If we get a second entry long here, do I want to take this? Let's get an order ready and see how it finishes. Maybe not. Channel with a break. If we can break below that bearish bar, then I may go long there. It is 2 legs back. You can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be some stops above there. Been trading for years. I may have been, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, 5, 6, 7 years, somewhere around about there, I think. I know he'd been going a couple of years when I started 4 years ago. So, okay, it's broke below there. Let's see what happens now, because it's a channel up. Second entry long. The trouble is this coming down? It's really hard to say. He is from Madison, yeah. Okay, there's nothing I can do anyway at the moment.
Order cancelled.
That is an overshoot, and a lot of times on an overshoot we get a correction. Nice north of me a bit, yeah. it's tempting to take a second entry long. We've got a channel with a break, but it doesn't. It looked like it's struggling to get up to me, and that makes me nervous. Okay, it's broke below there, which is a good thing. It's kind of 2 legs up. I wouldn't have taken a short there at the moment because of the overshoot, but it doesn't mean to say it can't come down. Maybe this can get extended to there. Maybe it can. But this could be like a fell break out of this little range here. I don't know. I mean, is this thing now on the turn? Is it on the way back down, or at least to this level? So channel with a break, it's looking like it's going to make a new low. I wouldn't have taken that for going short. I wouldn't have thought that would have worked because of this, what looks like an overshoot. Often it'll trap shorts here and then bounce and push up. Maybe it still will. Excuse me just a second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Blonde 7-year-old in the back seat screaming. Been there, done that. Although my 7-year-old's now 16 and developed a mouth that works very efficiently. So, is this thing now finally? Yep, absolutely. She's learnt all the choice words. So, are we getting another leg down? I mean, learn to speak. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yep, those words are starting to come out now. It doesn't seem 5 minutes ago she was shouting me upstairs, "What cross?" So I keep reminding her. D-Jan, that rings a bell. D-Jan, I haven't heard that name for a couple of years. D-Jan. Yeah, the trouble is, I think with trading, people do come and go, don't they? We know there's a massive failure rate. It's not necessary that people fail; they just give up. Yeah. Is he not still around? He wasn't he a moderator on the Facebook group? I think. Channel down, 1 attempt, 2nd attempt. Wasn't he a moderator? Unless he's just, I think, doesn't he live in something like Sweden or Norway? In Sweden or something. Dijon, yeah, I've had that name for a while. I don't know, some people, I suppose. See, initially, when you start trading and you learn, and you do spend a little bit more time posting charts. I mean, for the first 18 months I was learning to trade, every single day I posted my chart on the Facebook group without fail. And I ask for feedback. It's the only way you learn, really. Ask people who've been trading longer than you. Alpine. I do know an Alpine. The Alpine guy. Yeah, people come and go. There was another guy when I started streaming 2 years ago. I forget his name. His name popped into my head for some reason. It's profit. Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, when people do get profitable, when you first learn to trade, it's all kind of new and exciting, and you're posting your charts and you're learning and you're asking. When you start to make money, sooner or later, it starts to become like a normal job, and you spend your time trading, and then once in a while, it's like Jope. I believe he does well. Just once in a while, he'll show his face and say hello. And then you've got obsessive nuts like Marco and me, who are always on there posting. Some people it kind of takes over your life to be. So Marco's always posts. Never fails to post Marco. Daniel started posting a bit more, but they're two people that helped me a lot when I started. Gave me lots of encouragement, because it is frustrating when it's starting. It kind of looks easy, but it ain't. Thomas Way's another one, isn't he? I've heard him say before, he's obsessed about trading. It's not a bad state of mind to be in, to be honest with you, because you need to be a little bit like that to do this job, I think. So leg down, a little bit of sideways. I think there's a good chance we come below here, but it's just, what the hell do you do here? Is this thing actually completely on the turn now? Or what? I got no idea. Tell you what, let's have a look. Let's see what these other charts are telling us. So there's the 10,000 tick chart. Excuse me a sec. Sorry. There's the 10,000 tick chart. So we've got a couple of little bounces and a bounce here. So mind you, having said that, we've got a shoulder ahead. If we get another pull up, this could be a head and shoulders pattern. This thing, if this comes up near this EMA, the midline, this thing then could potentially take a dump. Or it may bounce here and range for a bit. It's hard to say. As I say, sometimes when you see that, it recovers it all quickly. Other times it makes a stand and eventually works up, but this looks like it's running out of a bit of steam. So channel down, 2 pushes up. This, I wouldn't be shocked if this thing actually took a nosedive at some point. So whether it'll, because it does look like head and shoulders pattern, but you'd have to think this would likely need to go up a little bit more really to comply for that. So that's the 10,000 tick chart. There's the daily. I mentioned we were up here right at the top about an hour ago. We're hitting that EMA, so this may make a pullback. It's hard to say at the moment. In other words, we're none the wiser. Well, I'm going to grab an early lunch. Yeah, you take it easy, bud. Money, so ain't money. Volume probably, yeah, for speakers and other news. So it's just a bit too risky to trade here. We're going to get a leg and a leg down, quite possibly. There's a bullish bar there, that's triggered, and that stopped cleaning this area out here. But it does look like a shoulder ahead. But you think we'd have to bounce up here really for it to go. Would I want to go short here? Not really. Channel break. We've already had a new low. Channel break. We've made a new low by a tick, so it's just sitting waiting really. That's stacked up anyway. So if I brought this down, what would that look like? It doesn't look terrible. It certainly works on that midline, and there we've pushed up, bounced off the lower part of it, and we've bounced. So, it's always a possibility. But it's not easy today, is it? We are getting these big swings, but we kind of get no real way up there. It just tends, we hit that place 3 times and then off it rockets straight up. That went out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 points straight up. Couple of legs back. I don't think that was terrible, but at the time, we'd made a new high from this, so you don't know, do you? On those days where capital preservation is doing absolutely no, it bothers me not taking a trade in the slightest. And always better to not take a trade than end up losing your patience and getting yourself into something you shouldn't. As we all know, I've had my fair share of them. So, channel break, new low, channel break, new low. So, where's this thing going now? Is this a fail break out of this? Would I want to go long at the moment? Not really. Question, is your lower than 0.1? As long as it's clear, I don't know, it's never an issue. Most of the time, 99 times out of 100, it's clear. In other words, it's white. When it goes amber, I'm aware of it, but I'm not too bothered. When it goes red, I stay away from it. But what I used to do, which used to work, was select that and then click sync, and it used to sort it out, but it stopped doing that. So I downloaded this bit of software about a year or two ago, 18 months ago. Where is it? It's down here. Time sync. And that sorted it out, and it's always clear now. Occasionally, after the market opens, you've got traders coming in with positions, stuff, that lag does climb a little bit for the most. So I'm never bothered what it says as long as it's white. Once it starts orange, I'm aware of it, and red, I'll just leave it alone. 0.1, yeah. As long as it's white, but I won't worry about it. Sometimes that'll get really red and price will just freeze and then jump and hop. Yeah, time sync. It's just called time sync. It was free and I downloaded it, and what I think it does, it continuously syncs it, I think. I'm guessing, really, I don't know, but someone told me about it and it's worked, so I'm not very software orientated. So, leg and a leg. So let's just see where this goes. If we manage to get up somewhere around about here, shoulder, head, shoulder, this thing may decide to take a dive. I mean, that is just a possibility if it does get up there. Day's gone quick today, 2.5 hours already. My wife and daughter are going out shopping, so I'm probably going to sit here till 6 now, so another hour, I think. Being an ex-chef, they're usually shouting at me for tea at around about 5:30. I was only work 2.5 hours a day. Got to do me with it. Kirk, how you doing, buddy? I use the Mainberg network time protocol. Easy to find and it's free. There you go. There's something to take a photo of. Have a look at that. That's what you're using as well. Okay, there you go. I think at times, whether it's volume coming in or what, I don't know really, to be fair, but usually around the market open, it does flicker a little bit into orange, but it soon settles down. And the ATRs, that's kind of where I like it, actually. Difficult to read. Yeah, it is a bit, mate. It's not easy, really. We've had that initial push up, then we've kind of gone up and up. If we can get 2 legs back here, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get this move down. If I get rid of that, shoulder, head, shoulder, if we can get back up here somewhere, that may decide to move down. May. It syncs to the same time servers. Interesting. So I wonder if we're going to get like a correction, almost like a penguin style trade, leg up, and then another push down. Who knows? Remember that penguin trade I marked over here? Someone in the penguin forum took it there. Channel down, a couple of legs up or 3 legs up, and it worked. It did push down below there. So he's good at what he does, Penguin. Nice Penguins trade on the CL. Channel up. 2 really, I mean, that is a beautiful correction. That's the type of correction I like. More side by side, little bullish bar. I think that's a great place to go long there. Nice channel there, 2 lovely legs back. Little bullish bar. He's trading a little bit different as well, I've noticed, Penguin, isn't he? He's if it gets up here, he's dropping an order in and putting his stop further up here. So I'm watching that. I'm paying attention to that. Channel break, new high. Is that a lower high? I wouldn't be convinced we don't come back up here a little bit more. So I'm going to sit tight here, leg and a leg. It's payday today. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. One leg up. Second leg up. I'll be looking for somebody a channel break. 2 legs up, bearish bar up here. I'd be interested in the short there. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. I don't think this thing is going any higher. It looks to me like it may be on the turn. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Trouble is taking a short there. I'm thinking this. We'll have a look. So channel break, new high. Let's see what happens when we get up here. That would be a second entry short. Very tempting.
Order submitted.
See how big it is.
Order submitted.
Okay. I actually like that. Leg, break, leg. 300 risk, so it's not a huge risk. Be nice to see that trigger and then drop. I'm going to put that, I'm going to risk that a little bit more. I shouldn't do, but I think that's got more chance of holding. It might stop that out and come back. It is a little bit more risk. But it does look like a leg and a leg. We'll see what happens. Sometimes those extra ticks will help. We'll see. It is a channel with a break and a new high. It is a second entry short, although it's been technically stopped out. No, it's not going to work, is it? Damn.
Order filled.
Okay. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. Am I in or out of this trade?
Order filled.
What is going on here? Am I out? Where's my... no, there's still one in. What is going on here? I'm out. I am out. It's alright, I wasn't sure what's going on. Ah, well. That's a shame. So that's a shame. I thought that was okay. A couple of legs up, bearish bar. Never mind. Well, it's one of those things, and sometimes it happens. So I'm down, what, 4 to 425 there. But include what's it? So 150, so 600 down over the last couple of days. Not terrible. I actually just like that 2 legs up, bearish bar, channel break, new high. I thought that was okay. It would have defo been marked on. Yeah, that's the trouble, really. Second entry short, hitting these highs, but yeah, I don't know. I put it there. Sometimes it does make a difference, and the difference between being an extra 120 down or 300 up. So I'm down 432, but if it would have worked, I'd be up 300. So there's a difference in $700. So I don't know, maybe it's a bit too risky. It is picking a high, but we got this channel down. I know we made a new low, but it does look, the bias looks down. So we got 2 legs up, but it's one of those things, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, if it had worked and it would have came down, it would have been all right, but so, I've been quite strict lately, but I don't know, maybe I've just slackened off a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But I am done for the day now. I can only trade one a day. Well, especially if it's a loss. So that would have been a $300 loss, but if it would have triggered that and come down, sometimes it will. It's one of those things. So, but there we go. So I'm down 600, just under 600 over 2 days, which is not the end of the world. 2 trades and that's kind of back, but it does happen. It's not the easiest of days today. Maybe I should have waited, but I liked it. We had a channel break and a new high. Triggered above there. There may have been some buys there, and it's one of those things sometimes. I think sometimes you're better off waiting for the lower high. Maybe I shouldn't have done, but sometimes if the trade's good, sometimes it won't give you one. It'll just come down. So it's just one of those things. I can't moan about it. I just got to get on with it. It does happen. So I just need to keep me strictness. Where are we now? Wednesday. I've got 2 more days. But as I say, 2 more winning trades, and that'll get me back in the green. 160 yesterday, 430 today. So two winning trades, and I'm back in the green. So yeah, see, it was kind of a penguin trade. Having said that, he does wait for it to push below that EMA, but we had a channel with a break and a new high, and we hit this same area. 1, 2, 3, call it triple test, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, it happens. So I can't physically trade anyway, won't let me. So I've just got to sit tight. So there you go. So best of luck if you're carrying on trading. Failing that, I'll be back tomorrow and we'll do it all again. So have a great evening. Stay safe. And we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.